As someone who's very keenly interested in wildlife, you haven't exactly seen a great deal of it, but on Phillip Island all you could see was one koala bear.
Well, yes.
And that was, I think you were rather unfortunately misrepresented there. It appeared to many newspaper people as if the koala bear was being lassoed simply to be shown to you. That wasn't the case, was it?
No, the point was that the koalas have done extremely well on Phillip Island. In fact, they've done much too well, which is one of the great problems of conservation. And the excess population was being captured and put on the mainland to restock areas where they'd almost died out. And this is they were demonstrating the technique they were using for doing precisely this.
Were you getting this sort of backward?
Do the males mate with more than one, or?
No one has studied in detail yet the sociology of this species, but it's generally stated that a male will deal with 6 or 8 females. But no one has to my knowledge, has ever marked koalas and sat back in the bush and watched them to find out exactly what happened.
There's a sort of koala carnival as it goes on for about a week in the year.
Something like that. Happens out in Seal Rock.
It's very easy for the ordinary man to become involved in some of the fundamental issues of conservation, insofar as he can become concerned with the care of his own backyard. But most of the big and really critical issues seem to be completely beyond his scope.
Not really. I think that a lot of these small organizations which are specific to a particular cause attract or need to attract public support. In many cases, the authorities are only impressed by the number of people who support an issue, not necessarily by the validity of the issue itself. And so that there is really genuinely, by belonging, it helps. The point is that one's got to be pretty sure that what you belong to is really a valid and genuine cause. But there are a lot of other things you can do. After all, merely by using national parks in a sensible way, for instance, or by being sensible about sport generally, by abiding by the rules of shooting and fishing, and by being a bit considerate for others in sport and recreation, you can contribute enormously.
Some of the responsibilities of the Duke of Edinburgh make it rather difficult for him to involve himself in some of the political conservation issues.
Well, I don't think that conservation issues are directly political. I think that all these issues, anything that affects people, is political. The only things that I keep out of are party political issues, where the one party says one thing and it's totally opposed by the other party. I think that's sort of political issue I keep out of, but things which are of public interest I see no reason why I should keep out of.
But it does seem as if it is a battle between governments, government agencies and big business and the ordinary people, doesn't it?
Yes, it looks like that. I think that the trouble is that each have got a different interest, and you've got to reconcile these interests. They're quite genuine interests. One's bound by agreements, by laws, by previous undertakings. This is difficult. Mind you, I think that where people deliberately, by prevarication and sort of legal skullduggery, get around the issues, I think that they need to be exposed.